Alright, welcome to Flying Colors. We'll be continuing our playthrough of Cape Ortugal, and in advance for the third printing that is coming still probably this year, and according to GMT Games news is being printed as we speak, but there's still time to buy into the P500 program, and it's highly advisable because the price is unbeatable. We are not playing it on the table, we are using Vassal engine and the module designed by Rob Doane to play the game. When we are playing the scenario that is more fluid, that doesn't have too much or too many ships, and that we can manage and learn the rules. So we are now going for turn 4. Alright, and turn 4 we already rotated the wind, and we defined the command groups, and they are all within range of the respective commanders, so we're gonna roll for initiative. Both are on 6, it's a tie, but the Brits win because their audacity is 3, while the French have an audacity of 1. So it's the British activation. Alright, we have here the Caesar with -1 movement point due to rigging damage, and Strachan is on this ship. The commanders might want or might decide to move from one ship to the other, and given the Caesar is heavily damaged, we will think about it at the end of the activation. But first we are going to move the Caesar, and we are running, so we start with 5 movement points, -1 for the rigging damage, becomes a 4. So you're gonna move a 1. Okay, it's on the ship. Okay, 1. We can change from reaching to running by paying 1 point. Okay, so with 1, that's 2, 3, 4. And now we are going to fire. And we can fire. I think we might be able to do a rake here. So the rake line is this, goes to another ship. Whenever any X of any active ship occupies this line, even when crossing through an enemy ship, we attempt to acquire an additional rake benefit. So we're gonna roll on the rake because we're going to fire our port side. and our arc is from here to there. So we rolled a 0, is 4 less. Our rake is successful. So now we need to check our firepower, and we are relative rate of 2, and our range is 3, which puts us on a 10. We have 12 hull hits, which means from the 2 we go to the 4. At range 3 it's a 6. We add the audacity, which is 3, so from a 6 passes to a 9, and that's pretty much it. So it's column 9. As we can see here, we are British, we always shoot at the hull. So we're gonna roll our die. It's a 2, British firing. 3, we are fighting upwind, so -1, that's a 2. That's pretty much it. So 9, on the 2 it's 1 hull hit, doubled because of the rake is 2. That's 2 hits. Okay. Now we have the hero. Okay, the hero moves 1. The formidable could shoot defensive fire, but it would be partial here. But the Duc White can make defensive fire, but not yet. The hero can move 4 movement points given it is running. So he moves 1. Performs a starboard, aware to starboard. That's 2 points. No, it's 0 because from running to reaching doesn't pay anything, so 1. And here the French are going to fire defensively. Alright, let's determine our firepower of the Duc White. It's a 3. At a range 2 it's a 9. Okay, there's no relative rate modifier to be applied, so we are on a 9. Firepower, we are white disc, white background, becomes a 10, plus the French audacity is 1, becomes a 11. We are shooting hull as the French, so we are on the 11 and we want to do as much damage as possible. So we're gonna roll, and we roll the 9. That's good. We are shooting upwind, which is an 8. That's pretty much it. So column 9 all, and we go to the 8. It's 3 hull damage. The British will respond with a port side broadside, and aiming at the hull, of course. Relative rate is a 3, range 2, it's a 9. We have 6 hull hits, becomes a 4th at range 2, it's a 7. Attacker's audacity becomes a 10 because British audacity is 3. Okay, we are on the 10 for hull. We roll a 2. We are British, shooting at the hull becomes a 3, and we are upwind becomes a 4. So we are on the 10, on the... it's 2 hull hits. Okay, damage starts to accumulate. So far 1 movement point, 2, 3, and now from reaching to running, it's another 1 movement point. Alright, that's where we end. Okay, the Courageux moves 1 movement point. The Mont Blanc will shoot starboard battery. He can only shoot in defensive after the enemy ship spent 1 movement point. So, same drill as before of the firing. We are relative rate of 3, and we add 1 for each every 6 hull hits. We have 9, so it becomes a 4. At range 1 it's a 10. We have a white background, becomes a 11. Attacker's audacity becomes a 12. That's pretty much it. So we are in the 12th row, shooting at the hull with the 8. The wind is equal for both. So we are on the 12 and 8. 3 hull, 3 rigging. Okay, moved 1. We move 2. And the French de Manoir orders the batteries of the Formidable to unleash into the Courageux. Courageux can endure this punishment and still come back. Alright, so same, go to the firepower table. Okay, it's a rank 1, it has 10, becomes a 2. At range 1 it's a 15, and we reduce 1 because of the black background, becomes a 14 plus the audacity 15. So we are in the 15, and there's no other modifier because the wind is equal and we are French shooting at the hull. So it's a 6, so it's a 15 on the 6, 4 hull. Alright, so we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're gonna fire into the Formidable. Okay, I could have shot earlier, but the defensive fire would be first anyway, so it would make a change. So we are rank 3, but we have 7 hull hits, sorry. At the range of 1 it's a 10, becomes 11 because of the white background, plus 3 audacity becomes a 14. Hit result table, we're hitting hull at the column 14. We roll a 4 and we are British, becomes a 5 in the 14. 3 hull with possibility of fire. We're gonna roll for the fire. It's a 7, no fire started. We have to roll for du manoir. No, he's okay. If it was a 9, he would be wounded. And that's the end of the British activation. Now it's the French activation. We have the Duc Rouen, which can move 5 points, -1 for the rigging damage, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. This is risky. I wanted to break the line, but I can't. I really can't. I need to move 1. Two. 3. 4. We already fired. We can't really fire. One. One. One, 2. 3. Man, then I got raked. Not liking that. But at the same time I block. But then he can turn and rake, so I will spend the last point in a port. Okay, so far so good. The French have moved those 2 ships. Now, the Mont Blanc has 4 points. Can move 1. From running to reaching is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, and I'm going to fire the port broadside and attempt to rake. That's a 6. Becomes a 5. Becomes a 3. So the rake is successful. Let's see the firepower. Okay, we are 3rd rank at the range of 1, pretty much. It's point blank, but okay. We are on the 12, but we are not a rank 3, we are relative 4, so we become, because of the every 6 hull hits, we have 9, so it's 10. Firepower modifiers, we have 11 because of the white background, plus 1 because of the audacity, becomes 12, and it's point blank fire because we are exactly in the same X. So 10, 11, 12, 14. We are 14 and hitting the hull, and we have the wind. Let's see, it's a 7 plus 1, 8, 14, 8 is 4 hull for rigging. Okay. plus the rest of the movement, we end up there. Funny, we fired during this entire turn. We did fire both broadsides. Nice. Okay, now it's the Scipion, which is reaching, so he has 5 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll attempt a rake. Nope, it's a miss. It's a 9. Even if we go for the 9, -1 audacity, that's an 8. It's a stern rake. 8 -2, that's a 6. Even the minus command quality, it's not there. So, but even if it was, it would be a 4. But then the range would be 1, 2. It would become a 6 again. So he misses, and we have to check the firepower. Okay, it's a 3rd rate at 2 range. It's a 9. A 9 plus 1 because of the white background becomes a 10, plus audacity is... I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm adding the audacities even for the defender fire. It's only for the attackers. But we'll carry on with the game anyways. So it's a 9, 10, 11, and first broadside for the Scipion. So 11, 12, 13. We're shooting at the rigging. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty much... Okay, 13 for rigging damage. Alright, the French is done. Oh, I forgot something with the Brits. I could have now actually raked there, and I think I would. I mean, it's only plausible that he was behind, then he ended his move there, and I can fire the starboard side. I think I can be excused for this situation, but the battle is lots of smoke, lots of cannon fire here, and let's do this because it was just an overlook. And we'll attempt the rake, of course, and the rake is successful. So we are a relative 3 with the -1 from the hull damage becomes a 4, which is a range of 1, which is a 10. Now 10 plus 1 because of the white background becomes 11. We are defenders, so we don't add the audacity. 11, and that's pretty much it. We're hitting hull. It's 11 column with it with 8, and we are pretty much 8, 9, 10 British hitting hull, and now he was upwind, now we are upwind. So 10 on the... what was the column? Was it 10, 11? Yeah. Say 11, and we hit with a 10 on the hull. So 4 hull with possibility of half fire. Let's roll for the fire. Ooh, it catches fire. It's a roll under the damage done. Okay, now if the commanders want to move ships, they have to move to the closest. And the way this works, command transfer, they need to roll greater or equal to 7. So Strachan will try to move to the hero. He rolled an 8. And he moves to the hero. Dumanoir at this point could only move to the Mont Blanc. Oh no, I can't move from there. Sorry, I was seeing the conditions and the ship must be dismasted. When a ship is dismasted on its damaged side or is on fire, any non-wound commander on that ship may attempt to transfer. So, as far as it goes, there's still no problem here. Okay, so we reached the end of turn 4 and we go to turn 5 and we're going to check the wind adjustment. It was the Brits that had initiative last round, so French roll for wind, there's no change. And now rolls for initiative, so the Brits wind initiative. Let's take Auda. Okay. Would be nice to. Okay, control P controller. By the way, the cleanup is done before even passing the turn, but it is what it is. Yeah. Okay, so the wind remains the same and the Brits have the initiative. So the audacity here pays off for the Brits to be attacker, but doesn't pay off for them to be defender. While the French have an audacity of 1, so okay, it might help, but not extreme. But we need to put damage, so we are running with the Caesar, and we're gonna move 1 and fire, declare the fire, but might, we were there, so yeah, the command groups are, everything is okay. Don't know if they do the defensive fire. I think they will. Duguay will shoot in defensive fire, and it's a 3rd rate relative, but +1 because it has hull damage, becomes a 4. At range 1 it's a 10, becomes a 11 because of the white background, and that's it. So 11, and we roll, we don't have a wind advantage. That's pretty much just a 5 on the 11 hull. Three hull. So we can mark it as damaged. And it goes to 1 hull damage. Okay, is now damaged, and he moved, defensive fire, and now offensive fire. So let's go to the firing table. It's a lot of fire. Once both fleets meet each other, it's brutal. So relative rate at the moment is a 4. We have attacker's audacity. Okay, 4, 10. Attacker's audacity is a 3, it becomes a 13. Okay, we are on the 13. We roll a 3. There's no wind advantage, but we are British shooting hull, so becomes a 4 on the 13. 3 hull. Okay, so far so good. By the way, we have to roll. Striker is wounded, is not. If it was a 9, he would be wounded. Okay, Caesar has moved. Now it's either the Courage or the Hero. Ooh, the Courage is really damaged. Rigging is -3, so we can only move 1. And I think he's going to get defensively fired by the Formidable. Not if I can do this. So the Hero moves 1. Even if he gets fired by the Formidable, it's only partial. So we're going now for running to reaching. Nope, it wasn't this one. So we are here. 1. That's still 1. And now we're going to fire. Into the Formidable. We'll have to... I can't even make this maneuver. So I moved 1. I could only move 4. Let me see. 1 there. I'll make the turn. 2. 3, 4. I have to go through and maybe try to rake to Guato. Okay, I think I have enough points, so I'm gonna fire into the Formidable. There's no raking fire, it's just normal. So our relative rate is a 3. We have 6 hull hits, becomes a 4 at range of 1, 2. At range of 2 becomes 7 firepower, and we are attacker, so becomes a 10. We roll the 6, becomes a 5 because we are shooting upwind, but we are British shooting hull, becomes a 6 anyway. 6 on the 10 on the hull is 3 hull hits. which now becomes damaged with 1 hull. And we have to check if the manual was damaged, was wounded. No. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and now I will fire the starboard side into a rake into the Duguay-Tron. And let's try to make the rake here. Okay, it's a 7 minus 3 of the audacity rating becomes a 4, minus 2 becomes a 2 because it's turn rake and there's no range to target, so the rake is successful. Our firepower, we are a relative rate of 3, becomes a 4 because of the hull hits, and it's a 10. We are attackers, it becomes 13. Point blank fire because we are in the same X, it's a 15. Okay, it's a 15. We rolled a 6 plus 2 British and we are shooting with the wind. Comes the 8. 8 hull on the 15. It's 6 hull. So it becomes damage. No, 6 hull. Yes, it is. It becomes 12 because of the rake. Holy crap. So okay, 3. So we have to add 9 more. And this is on risking on is vulnerable. Let me check the rule, but is on it's almost striking. A ship is vulnerable, exactly. Alright, so we have to check it in the end. Okay, and our last move there, and the Duguay-Tron will make his last, probably his last, and fires the port broadside. Try to make it a rake, which is a 1, and it is a rake indeed. So our firepower, it's a 5, at range 1 it's a 7, it's a 5, actually becomes a 6 because of the hull damage. At the range of 1 it's a 4, but we have white background, 4, 5. Okay, it's a 5, and we're shooting hull in this situation. So it's a 8. We are shooting with the wind pretty much. So 8, 1, 9. So we are in the 5, 9, 2 hull. Becomes 4 because of the rake. Whew, it's being hard. And as yet it's only the British activation. We're still missing the Frenchies. Right, now it's the Courageux, and here that I have the biggest issues, because we're going to move forward, and I know Dumanoir is going to order his batteries to fire. Which he does, of course. I mean, he needs to damage it. I think it's, yeah, it's problematic. It's a problematic decision, but we just lose one because of the audacity. So it's not that much of a loss. So let's see, we are a relative rate of 4 at a range of 1. It's 10, but we are now black background becomes a 9. Okay, it's on the column 9. We roll the die and it's a 9. We are shooting upwind, becomes a 8. Shooting hull, by the way. Column 9, and we roll the 8, which is a 3 hull. Alright, 3 hull puts the Courageux as damaged with 1 hull. Okay, we moved 1. 2. Okay, we can move from running to reaching. Oh, wait. I can only move here because the rigging damage was -3, so I will fire into the fog me out. So we better do it right away because we are really slow and almost losing all our masts. See our firing table, our firepower. Okay, we are relative rate of 5 at the moment. Okay, 7. We are white shaded, becomes a 8, and we are the attackers, so it becomes a 11. We're gonna roll. It's a 4 to the hull, and with the wind becomes a 6. It's a 6 on the 11. Okay, 11 on the 6 is 3 hull damage. And we have to check if Dumanoir dies. Oh, he's got wounded. Dumanoir is wounded! Wow. Bloody hell. Holy shit, I have to roll another die now. Okay, when receiving a wound, roll another die. If this die is less than or equal to that side's audacity rating, and we rolled a 1, and the French have 1, the commander has been killed and is removed from the game. Dumanoir has died. Wow. The audacity here is wrong. The playbook says it's 1, and we have here all the victory points already summed up. This is great. Oof. This is a big blow for the French. I mean, they could just strike colors because, I don't know. Anyways, it's now the French turn. And I have no commander. They technically all out of command. Right, right. Let me just check that because it's important now. I mean, technically now every French ship is out of command. Okay. They are limited to what they can do when activated. When each is selected, the die is rolled and compared to the fleet's audacity rating. If the result is less than or equal to the audacity, the ship may function as if it were in command. If the command check fails, the ship may not end its move adjacent to an enemy ship if possible, or fire when activated unless it starts adjacent to an enemy ship. Okay. We could fire this one. Well, we have to roll, so this one has fired everything and we can move. We have -1, so we can move 3 points. So that's a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna run. I mean, we are vulnerable. We are about to strike, really. Okay, this one has absolutely no problems. Let's roll. We rolled a 1. Okay, we can everything is normal. So we move 1 and we have 4 points. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we fire the starboard. No. We go 3 and then put the sails aback and spend the last one. And we fire the starboard side against the hero. And we're going for the hull. So our relative rank is 4, range of 1 is 10, but we are on the black. Becomes a 9, the audacity is 1, becomes a 10. Okay, we are on the column 10. We rolled the 9, we are firing with the wind, becomes a 10, so 10, 10. 3 hull, 3 rigging. Okay, the hull, it becomes damaged with 2 hull. Okay, that's... I was watching for the Frenchies on some side of my brain here. Okay, now the Mont Blanc can... Well, we started adjacent from the Courageous, so we can fire, but we'll still roll for the auto command just for the sake of it. So 5. Doesn't matter if the result... Okay, if the command check fails, the ship may not end its move adjacent to an enemy ship or fire when activated unless it is activated when adjacent to the enemy ship. So, and I can move 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And I will try to rake the hero. So we still have 1 point. We're gonna be raked by the corrosion, but we have to keep firing. So a rank 5 at a range of 3. So we have a 4 that becomes, because of the white background, becomes a 5, and we are the attacker, becomes a 6. So we are on the 6 shooting. Oh, we have to check if we rake. No, we didn't. So we are on the 6 shooting at rigging. Oh, it's a 0. Okay, 6. It's on the 2. We hit 1 hull. Ain't bad, but could have been much better. Okay, so that one is done. And now we have the Scipion that can move 5. 1, wait, we have to, no, and we can't fire anyone, and we can't end next to an enemy ship. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the end of turn 5, but now we still have to do the vulnerable thing. That ship is vulnerable, and what the rule says is okay, a ship is vulnerable to strike under 2 conditions. It is damaged and has 3 or fewer hull hits remaining. Okay, if vulnerable due to hull damage, a ship strikes on a modified die roll of 4 or more. Where's the tables? Striking. Let's roll. It's a friend. We roll a 3. Hull hits remaining 3. So we'll roll a 3, becomes a 0. Well, no effect. Do I have to check every turn? Doesn't say, so I suppose I have to check every turn, right? Right. Well, Strachan is alive, and at the end of turn 5, this is the situation, right? The Duke White Roy is a wreck. It's completely vulnerable. The crew is ready to call it off. The Brits have been taking a pounding. We have the Hero and the Caesar are fairly damaged. And we have the Courageux there with the rigging almost breaking off. But the French still have a chance, because if you watch, the de Guadron is out of the action, but the Scipion still is absolutely fresh. The crew is still willing. The Mont Blanc is fairly capable at the moment. The Formidable is the one that is second most shaky after the Guadron. Now, the worst thing is that Dumanoir has died, and at the moment the victory points are 14.5 for the Brits and 9 for the Frenchies, so it's not that one-sided as yet. So cheers for watching. We are going for turn 6 next, and well, let's see you next time. And if you need to comment, tell who you are supporting, the French Navy, French Napoleon Navy, or Great Britain, ruler of the seas. So cheers, thanks for watching.